Hey guys, today on Rich with Cars, I bring you 2021 Mustang GT Performance Pack. I never really got an opportunity to actually, play around with the Mustang before. I've been in some before, but never on this generation of the Mustang with sort of like those new headlights. So I'm kind of excited to actually take a look at this and show you guys a little bit around this car. So as always, I'll be doing a bit of the exterior, interior, cargo volume, of course the engine, and then I'm gonna have the owner basically give me some driving impressions because I haven't had much time with this car, so I can't give you my honest opinion on that. So guys, strap in, let's take a look. So this version of the Mustang got refreshed in 2018. This is basically the 6th generation Mustang, but with a mild refresh on the headlights and mildly on the taillights, I believe, as well. It's my first time actually taking a close look at the Mustang in general, and then also especially at this latest generation of the Mustang, not including the most recent release of the 2024. So this is actually the current version of the Mustang right now as we speak. So I'd like to give you guys sort of like a start here with the exterior, taking a look at some of the design. This particular model is, like I said, a 2021 GT, which got the 5-liter V8, as you guys can see over here, and it's got the performance package. Now, a performance package, we'll go over the entire exterior and we'll show you exactly what the performance package adds to the whole vehicle. Let's get started with the front and then move our way towards the back. So here on the GT, we have these sort of little strakes over here that give a better or wider opening for better breathing. Then we have this lower front lip as well that gives a more sporty and provides more downforce for the vehicle. We do not have openings over here, as you guys can see, as air curtains, but then we do have the updated headlights, which I really do like quite a bit. From a direct front view, you can't really see it, but if you see it a little bit from the side, what's really cool about these 3 strakes on the headlights is that they're sort of like stacked on each other. The headlight design is quite nice. I kind of like the sort of, if you want to call it, the eyebrow design. You got multiple lines around the actual headlight unit itself. These are LED lights, and of course LED daytime running lights. Moving a little bit further up, so looking here at the hood, this is a design that is just for the GT alone. This is not specific to the performance package. We have these functional hood vents over here, which help for releasing some heat from the engine bay. I really like it. It gives it a very aggressive look, and I like how they actually have the actual housings for the vents themselves in the same color as the vehicle itself. Then you got some indentations over here that basically go along with the hood vents as well. Generally, it's a very aggressive look. I like it quite a bit. Personally, if I were to go down a little bit, I would probably keep the Mustang Pony logo in black. That could be done in the aftermarket as well. One little cool design feature is this, I don't know if you guys could see it, is that little Mustang logo at the end of the headlight design. Really nice. So moving on to the side a little bit. Now this is specific to the performance pack, which are basically these wheels, 19-inch wheels, blacked out in gloss black, multi-spoke or multi-Y-spoke. I actually like them quite a bit. It's a nice little feature that comes with the performance pack. And if you look a little bit even further inside, you have these Brembo brake calipers that come with the performance pack as well for additional braking force. So you have 6 piston calipers in the front. Once again, not specific to the performance pack, but you have the 5.0 badge. Something pretty cool as well that I like that comes with the GT is the turn signals on the side view mirrors. Gives a nice little touch of luxury. So then you got non-specific to the performance, but you have these side splitters as well in sort of like a matte or like a satin black, which is basically an unpainted plastic over here. You have the shark fin antenna here on the top, which gives it a nice little look as well. Further behind, once again, we got these performance wheels that come with the performance package. These do not come with the Continental tire. They actually do come with Pirellis, but they had to be changed because the owner actually had some fun with this vehicle, which I don't blame him for. So Like I said before, you do have 255s in the front, and you have 275s in the rear, also 19-inch. Very nice wheel package that comes with a performance package. And then we move a little bit further behind, not specific to the performance pack, but I do like how deep the grooves go in the taillights. I never really noticed until you actually go close to the Mustang itself, and you guys can see how deep these grooves go. Of course, you have sequential taillights, and then finally you have the performance pack specific rear wing. I love it. Much nicer than what comes standard on the GT, which is basically like a lip spoiler. But in this particular performance pack version, look how nice that looks. It looks really nice. And then you have the exhausts, which are in stainless steel, really nice tips, give it a very aggressive look. And then you have the rear diffuser also, which resembles a little bit the GT350. Nevertheless, still very nice diffuser. If you were to compare it to a diffuser, let's say coming from a Camaro SS, I find that this one has much more detail, and it's much nicer. It gives it a much more aggressive look as well. So heading towards the interior, first things first, you have basically touchless or keyless entry. So as soon as you put your hand over here, it unlocks the door. So let's just say I have the key in my pocket right now. That's to lock it. If you put your finger on the 4 little bands over here, and then if you put your hand behind the door handle, it unlocks it. We have some plastic injection mold here on the top. It's okay. I wouldn't say it's great, but it's also not a luxury or sort of high-end sports car. Still pretty nice though. You have some, I believe this is leatherette. I'm not sure if it's actually leather, but nevertheless, you have a nice trim over here, and then that seems like it's plastic that goes with the door handle. You have your typical controls for the windows, and then you have some memory seats over there with it right next to the door unlock and lock buttons. A small cubby for the door. You could fit a small 500 ml bottle in there. Something pretty cool that comes with this particular version, because it does have the premium pack, is this door sill, but it lights up at night. You can't see it right now because it's daytime, but this is really nice. Then getting to the seats, so these are not Recaro seats, but these are just, I guess, the seats that come standard on the GT. So you have these leather seats that are kind of odd, to be honest, because they're, I believe, 12-way seats, but they're not 12-way power. It's sort of split in half, in that your front forward tilting in the front and the back as well is power, and then your lumbar is also power, but then your seat back over here is manual. So I don't understand why Ford did that, maybe to save a little bit of cost, but I think they could have actually done that in power as well. I did sit inside. It does have good bolstering, a little bit soft, so it's actually quite comfortable, so you could actually drive this for quite some time. I do like the pedals, which are in aluminum as well. You have some nice aluminum pedals. One little feature over here that I actually enjoyed quite a bit is this little cubby, which allows you to put, little items in there, whether it's coins, keys, whatever it is, but it's quite useful, to be honest. And then you got your trunk release over there, your headlight and light buttons as well, even the control for the dimming of the interior lighting. And then you do have a manual handbrake, which is pretty cool. This is a 10-speed automatic, so it's not the manual version. But so looking at the interior over here, we have the steering wheel that comes with the GT over here. Quite a bit of stuff going on. I do like the 3-spoke design. It's a good sort of thickness. It's not flat bottom, but you do have quite a bit of functionality, all physical touch buttons. So you have basically like your music, your navigation controls, phone controls, different sort of toggling switches over here. You have your media switches over here, and then that's your cruise control. You do have plastic material paddle shifters. I think Ford could have done a little bit better job. The cool thing about this one is that it does have, I'm not sure what it's called. I think it's called the 401 package, which comes with the digital cluster. I believe it's a 12-inch digital cluster. Very, very, very cool. So you guys will take a look over there. And the owner gave me a quick tour of the cluster, and man, it is so functional. I mean, it's got so many different options. especially when it comes to like the track menu, there is so much that you can do in terms of adjustability. You can change even the look of the cluster itself. So this is sort of like the standard version over here, but if I were to change the drive modes, which is located over here, let's take a look. So this is normal, sport. See, now the cluster just changed. Sport plus, cluster stays the same. Track, now the cluster changes to, you know, giving more sort of importance on the tachometer. And then you have your speed over there, and then you have track drag mode, which is pretty cool as well. Drag strip over here, snow, wet. Once again, it switches the look. I'm back to normal. So yeah, like I said, I mean, I can go honestly probably for about half an hour going over the different functionalities. Let me show you guys some little quick stuff that's very, very cool. So let's just switch it over to track. So a little cool feature like I wanted to tell you guys about is the track apps that basically show up when you're in track mode. So if I were to press on the Mustang button over here on the steering wheel, it basically shows up a bunch of different functionalities, and amongst them you have exhaust mode. You can show a quiet start so that you don't bother your neighbors when you start up the car in the morning, or you come late at night, or if you want to leave late at night. You have your track apps over here, which is pretty cool. You have different versions over here. You can do a drag race countdown, racetrack countdown to help you in terms of your start. You have acceleration timers as well. So basically, it'll automatically track your 0 to 30, 0 to 60, 0 to 100, 1/8 mile, quarter mile. And then you have brake performance as well. So you can test out your Mustang GT performance pack with 60 to 0 and 100 to 0. I mean, this is really cool. Something extremely cool is you can do line lock. So if you want to do line lock and, you know, burn up your rear tires, this gives you the option to do that. Super cool. Getting back to this, you can do lap timer as well. And then based on your lap timer, you can put track information to basically time your laps. You can actually configure gauges or show different types of gauges over there. Say, for example, you can put these types of different gauges, or your air fuel ratio, actual oil temperature, cylinder head temperature, engine oil temperature, inlet air temperature, all these things. Like, so for example, the vacuum and the oil pressure you actually have here in analog, but if you want to have them here on your dash or your digital cluster, you can also have them there as well. This is, you know, quite loaded. It does come with the I believe, like I said, the 401S pack. This comes with the safety pack and the 401S pack, which is basically like a premium package, which gives you all these functions on the digital cluster. And then at the same time, you can also change the cluster appearance regardless of the drive mode. So you can actually have it change with the drive mode, or you can change the drive modes and keep it in one of these looks, the normal, the sport, or the track. You can change the color as well of the interior, ambient lighting, or you can change the color of your gauge cluster as well. There is so much stuff. You can even create your own color. I mean, very impressive. When I was going through this with the owner, when he was showing me around, I mean, this really actually allows you to daily your Mustang. And of course, it allows you to also benefit from some of the luxuries, if you want to call it, of having sort of a nice daily driver. This also comes with some safety features. As you can see, you have auto engine off, which is basically if you were to remote start your car, it automatically turns off. Blind spot, pre-collision, cross traffic alert, of course automatic cruise control, driver alert, lane keeping assist, and automatic wipers. I mean, this car is really fully loaded. So that's enough with this. It's a 12-inch digital cluster. You do have an 8-inch digital infotainment system over here. I believe it's a Sync 3 system, which also gives you a lot of functionality as well. The middle console over here is pretty straightforward. I like the fact that you do have physical buttons for your HVAC controls. And like I was showing you guys here before, you have different toggle switches, which is very cool. I love the way that they actually set these up. So you have your hazards, your traction control off, your steering wheel feel. You can change it to different modes, whether it's comfort, race, and it basically changes the firmness of the steering. And then you have your drive modes over there as well. You have a little cubby area over here, USB-A plug over there. This is the 10-speed automatic, so you have your 10-speed automatic. Like I said before, you do have a handbrake, a couple of pretty large cup holders, and then you have your middle console over there as well. Rear seat space, I wouldn't say is great, but you could put some small people, or you could put some children there in the back for short periods of time. I would say that it's a little bit better than, let's say, for example, my LC has literally no space here for the legs. So this has a little bit more space, being a coupe, but generally it provides a little bit of space for short drive. Getting into the cargo area over here, you have quite a bit of space, not bad. I'll show you guys some of the cargo volume numbers on the screen now. But very similar to other sports cars in this segment, like the Camaro, for example. Nothing too special here in the rear. And you do have a pass-through for both sides, which makes it much more convenient. So here's the heart of this beautiful S650 Mustang GT. You got your 5-liter V8 Coyote engine. It's direct injected, fuel direct injected, and you have, I believe it's 460 horsepower and 420 pounds per foot of torque. This particular owner did actually replace the air intake, so you can see that it's quite massive. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's pretty huge, to be honest. And then at the same time, something else that does come with the performance pack is this huge strut brace, which is very nice. I like it, and it actually does add torsional rigidity as well. I'll show you guys some performance numbers on the screen. It does do quite well. Of course, not off the line because it's not all-wheel drive, and it needs to actually put the power to the ground. So ultimately, though, it's very solid engine, as everybody knows. It's similar in terms of displacement to Lexus 2UR GSE, but it's got a little bit more torque. So the 2UR GSE, I think, from Lexus actually has 470, 471. Whereas this has 460, but the torque number is a little bit higher on this. Like I said, it's 420 versus a 400 from Lexus. But then you got the Camaro SS, which has, I believe, 455 and 455, both on the torque and the horsepower numbers. But it's also on the Camaro, you gotta believe it's a 6.2 liter naturally aspirated pushrod engine. So. But yeah, ultimately, I do like this engine quite a bit. It's got a really nice noise to it. Not as nice as, let's say, for example, the flat plane crank that sits in the GT350 and the 350R. But nevertheless, it's still pretty nice. I don't think fuel efficiency numbers are as important, because if you're going to be getting a sports car, then I don't think that's as much of a concern to anyone. But I'll put up the fuel efficiency numbers on the screen as well. So we're inside the Performance Pack 21 Mustang GT, and we're gonna basically ask a few questions to the owner and see how his experience has been so far. So first of all, thank you very much for allowing me to review your car. It's been sort of a pleasure, to be honest, because I never really had an opportunity to you know, play around or take a look around a Mustang, especially a GT with a performance pack. So thank you very much for that. What sort of car did you come from at the end of the day?
So the car I had before this was a 2018 Toyota Camry XSE. So I'm going from a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder to the 5.0.
That's like double the size of an engine. That's pretty crazy.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you like it so far?
Absolutely love it. I've had nothing but good times with this car. So go to car rallies, go to car shows, stuff like that.
Nice.
Meet a lot of new fun people.
Yeah, definitely. It definitely also allows you to get into the car scene a little bit more. Get to meet like-minded people. A little bit of that exhaust. And guys, just to let you know, there's been a slight modification on this exhaust. So that's not the OEM exhaust that comes with the GT or the Performance Pack. There was a, remind me again, resonator?
Just a resonator delete. So everything else is OEM, but the resonator delete.
So it still makes a little bit of a difference, just for your ears there. Have you had any issues with the car since you've had it? How long have you had it so far?
So I've had it just probably about 2 months, a little over 2 months. The only, I'd say, issue I had was my own fault. I took it in, I pushed it a little bit too hard going against the scat pack, and I went into limp mode. So limp mode basically is a protective thing that the computer does. It shuts all your power away. I couldn't really go over about 1500 RPMs without it jerking and fighting me. So real easy fix though. If you pull over anywhere, shut it off for about 1 to 5 minutes, turn it back on. There's a little wrench that would normally show up underneath the speedometer. Once that goes away, you're out of limp mode. If you have a check engine light, basically you just plug it in and clear the code.
Okay.
And then everything went back to normal and everything was good.
So nothing major, at least, yeah, that was basically self-induced, if anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Track mode too long.
Well, that's cool. When you were looking at this Mustang GT with the performance pack, what other vehicles were you considering alongside with it?
I had actually on order, I had ordered a 2022 F-150 Platinum Power Boost.
Oh, wow.
So that's what I was going to go with. And then after a few things happened, I decided it would just be too much for me. So I canceled that and decided to start looking into the Mustangs. I've always wanted one since I was a kid. And I have the opportunity now to be able to afford it. So that's what I did. I went that route, did my research, looked up the different things, got the exact color, packages, everything that I wanted. So I couldn't be more happy with what I have.
Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad that you got it. And I'm happy that you're actually enjoying it, already going to rallies and stuff. So definitely something that I'm sure you will enjoy for for many years to come. So once again, I want to thank you again for allowing me to review your car. And guys, enjoy a little bit more of this amazing exhaust sound that coming from this Coyote 5-liter V8. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed this review on the 2021 Mustang GT Performance Pack. It was a complete pleasure to actually take a look at it from a more detailed perspective. Once again, like always guys, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment below. And don't forget to share as well. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care.